Hello crafty people, Amanda here, going to do a Stash Dive Tuesday, and I will be doing this for a while. I found this layout on Pinterest and it's by Heather Jacob, and this is kind of my inspiration to start my layout. So I have these two photos of when we had gotten our new Alice Chalmers D15, well, new to us tractor at our first house when we were early married, and both my parents wanted to ride on it with me driving it because that was new in their world. So this is a photo of my mom and then my dad both on the tractor, and there's a little stool that's in the front of the first photo because my dad had health issues. Actually, he passed away very young, and he needed the step stool to get up on the tractor. And with these Stash Dive Tuesdays, I am just going back to paper packs that I've never even used, some of them that I've used and I have pieces parts. Some of them are mixed with other papers so that there's not only like mix in papers but Celebrate Today along with another paper pack. So I'm just going through, I think like this piece on the left is from the Fundamentals. I know these stickers are from the old Fundamentals from Close to My Heart. I am a Close to My Heart maker, so if you have any needs in that area, I would love it if you would jump on over to my website if you don't already have a maker. If you have a maker, by all means, please support them. So I'm literally just going through all of my different paper packs, and this paper with the stripes on it, it was a brand new piece of paper. It wasn't just a scrap, but and that's allowed. It's just they don't want you to use more than 2 elements from any one paper pack, and I did not do that. I have several paper packs or several bundles that have multiple paper pack things in them to begin with. So like I said, I just went through and I grabbed chunks of paper that would work for this layout. I probably could have even gone through my scrap bin because these, you know, for the most part, these are just really small pieces other than the background of the photos, which is on the wood grain, and then the 2 longer pieces that are on each end under the wood grain. All of the rest of the scraps are 1 3/4 inches wide by maybe 4 inches tall. Some of them maybe 4.5 or 5, but I end up cutting them because they're going to be behind that photo mat anyhow. So I'm not going to have you watch me do all of the banner ends for these, and I do them off to the side just because I make a pile of all the little triangles. So then if you haven't watched my videos, I'm big for dry fitting. I like to kind of have an idea of what direction I'm going in, and I'm really proud of myself. I am normally not that great or comfortable with layering a whole bunch of papers underneath and behind, but I really felt like I'm getting there. I made great strides today on that. So here is a longer strip of, it's probably like a cranberry red, and cranberry red in Close to My Heart is retired, but it has those orange tones to it, which works really well with the Alice Chalmers tractor that we have. And then I did pull from one of the old paper packs. There was an orange with it as well, and it's not the same orange as the cranberry, but it just works. They're all kind of that, I would call them muted. They're not the bright colors. So I am trying to get my 2 side pieces on, and like I said, I kind of struggle with this, so I played with the straight edge ruler and getting the 2 sides on for a long time. That's why we faded over that, because you didn't need to see me move that 16 times and move the ruler. But I'm trying to get these lined up so that they look like they go from the top to the bottom. And you can see that I just layered a bunch on to start with. I turned everything upside down and just put them on, and now I'm adding more, just sliding them in underneath and seeing how they'll fit. So this red plaid just kind of tucks under, and this blue pattern paper just kind of tucks under, and then I'm going to take just a little piece of the red plaid and put it on top. So then I'll need a little piece of the red plaid. Oh no, I didn't. I could have put it at the top of the thing. I probably should have, but now only you and I are going to know that I didn't do that. And these medallions that you see, they were from a layout that I did maybe 1.5 years ago, and they were just left over. So I'm taking some white gesso, and I thought it would be a little more translucent than it is, and I think you can add water and get it to that point, but I'm still learning all the different mixed media things, and I was just really proud of myself that I just did brush strokes and they weren't even, and they kind of just faded in. And you know, if you look at it now, I'm going yuck, but by the time the layers get on it and everything gets done. I actually really like this layout. I showed it to our oldest, who does a lot of art, has studied art at university, and very much his hobby. And he looked at it and he was like, yeah, I really like the brush strokes. And so I was excited to hear that. That was good feedback for this mom. So I haven't glued down the photo cluster yet with all of those papers, and I'm very excited. I tuck this journaling card underneath the photos, and for the first time this year, celebrate with me, hear the crowds go wild. I did not write too much journaling. I actually, when I was writing my journaling, I had like my 3 fingers marking, you know, how much of the paper tucks under that photo, so that I didn't write on that portion of the journaling square. So I was very excited by that. And at first I thought I was going to do the title just horizontal to the left of my photos, but then I decided, no, I'm just going to have it right up, go vertical right up the side, and it just says memories. We had Mom and Dad over. They came over every week for dinner. My dad was a kidney dialysis patient, and so there was many foods that he couldn't eat. They ate out at a restaurant every other night, except for Wednesday nights when they came to our house. But potatoes, if I soaked them in water for 24 hours and you rinse the water, you know, the first 8 hours I would change the water out every 2 hours, and then they would soak overnight and I would rinse them first thing. But if I did that to the potatoes, it took, I believe, the potassium out of them, and then my dad could have mashed potatoes, which he absolutely loved. So we would have dinners like that at the house, and then we would play card games or board games, and it was a nice time. It was a way to spend time with my dad and Mom, and especially with my dad before he was too frail to do some of those things. So kidney failure it really does change the way you're able to function and live and your day-to-day. You can still do some things, but it definitely changes the quality of life at that point. So here I had these flowers on my desk from I had pulled them out for the Makers with Heart video that I did on Sunday. And if you haven't watched all of the Makers with Heart videos this week, it started on the 10th with Jessica Dupinski, and then it will go through Wednesday, and everybody is highlighting a specialty paper, or I was highlighting cardstock. So I thought maybe those flowers, they were the right colors, but it wasn't the right fit for me for this layout. And then I have these patches that I dug out from my embellishment stash. See here, you can see all my layers that I put on there. And now I'm finally adhering this down. And I'm really, really quite pleased with how this turned out. And these are adhesive backed sequins, but they have a wood grain pattern to them. So I don't know if you can see that in the video, but they have a wood grain pattern. So for each of my little cluster areas, I'm doing a triangle of those sequins. And as I was doing this layout, I kept thinking, do I need more? Do I need less? You know, how am I going to do this? So I'm just covering my photos because I, got out my Dana Weekly splatters. I opened this for the first time, this white one, and I'm really having some hard time. I've seen so many people do that they just take it out and it drips on their thing, and I was really struggling. And then you'll see I end up doing a whole bunch up here at the top because it was flicking behind where I could see. So it's all good. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. This was my inspiration piece again, and then this is my layout from that inspiration piece. So I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions or you have any comments, I love reading those, makes my day. Subscribe if you're not a part of the Crafty with Amanda, and I do have a Facebook page. Have a blessed day. Thank you.